Hey everyone, welcome to TrailSage, and this week, I thought I'd give you a tour of my studio. You might be surprised to see how inexpensive and rudimentary my setup is. My goal was to create a repeatable studio space using a mix of household items as well as some prosumer levels of gear. Basically, could I create somewhat professional looking recordings, not including the camera? Well, let's answer that question by giving you a tour of my studio/office. This is where it all starts, so come on in. Over here I have my road bike, cycling parts and accessories, as well as my GoPro and other camera gear. So let's swing around and I'll show you my background setup. Creating a backdrop that was simple and clean was really important to me, but I also wanted to showcase some of my interests. I did this by including a bike, helmet, and shoes as part of my background. I blacked out the windows because sometimes I record during the day and I didn't want the sun to affect my lighting. Aside the LED lights behind my bike, this backdrop mainly stays dark, and that's on purpose because I want the focus to be on what I'm saying and not on a distracting background. This desk is also where I demo products using an overhead cam, but that setup is a different video, so let me know if that's a topic that you want me to cover. Let's swing around again and I can show you how I set up my studio shot. Earlier in the video I used the phrase repeatable studio space, and that's because when I'm not recording video, this has to function as a regular office where I can get work done. Everything here is set up on the fly and can be easily moved or pushed out of the way. On the floor, I've marked off 2 spots where I can place the legs of my chair. I've done the same with my desk to help me line up the tripod. Making marks like this ensures consistency and gets rid of any guessing work. On the ceiling, I've attached 2 command hooks. This is where I hang my homemade backlight. At the front, I have 2 light sources. When I'm ready to do a video, I simply swing my boom mic into place and start recording. Another advantage to having a repeatable studio space is if I have to do a VO patch a little bit later, I don't have to worry about the audio levels being any different. So let's go back to my studio setup where I can begin breaking down the gear, starting with audio. Audio might be the most important component to producing a good video, but that doesn't mean you need a $500 professional mic. In fact, I'm using a $20 Marantz shotgun style mic on a $70 K&M mic stand, which I bolted to my desk. The audio from this mic isn't perfect, but it's consistent, and that's what's really important. Now some of you might be wondering why I went with a shotgun/boom style mic instead of a lav or lapel mic, and the reasons are simple. 1, I can set this up out of frame, which leaves my hands free. I move my hands a lot when I talk, and I also like to hold the products that I'm discussing. Having a mic attached to me or even right in front of me could result in me bumping it or even brushing up against it. Finally, using a directional style microphone that's closer to my face will reduce the amount of hollow sound or reverb to my voice. Basically, it'll sound less like I'm recording in a bathroom. For lights, you might be surprised to find out that I'm using regular household lamps. My key light is a desk lamp with an LED bulb, and I used some construction paper as barn doors to help direct the light, and I diffused it with a paper towel and screen mesh. Diffusing the lights this way eliminates any hot spots on my face. For my fill light, I'm using an LED bulb and a standing lamp. This light is farther away and is diffused by some smoked glass. Both lights are positioned at a 45-degree angle, creating some nice contrast while still providing some even lighting. The last light is my backlight or hair light. For this, I applied some LED strips to a board and I suspended it from my ceiling, slightly behind me, and pointed at the top of my head. This isn't a powerful light, but it doesn't need to be. The purpose is to separate me from the background. So let's turn off all the lights and see how each individual light affects the overall shot. With all the lights off, you can see how the backlight adds a little bit of definition to the top of my head as well as my shoulders. If we add a key light to the scenario, you can see how my face becomes the point of interest. Finally, to balance out the shot, we add a fill light to my right, and that evens everything out nicely. Although this tutorial doesn't include a camera, if you're curious, I am shooting with the Sony a6100. And if you're wondering why I chose to omit the camera from this discussion, that's because this setup will work with any camera, including the one on your phone. But before I end this video, here's a couple tips for folks just starting out. 1, learn to look at the lens and not the viewfinder. Think of the lens as someone's face. I can't tell you how many videos I've seen where the person delivering the message is looking right at the viewfinder and not at the lens. 2, deliver your message with passion. I had this problem with my own videos earlier on until my wife pointed out, if you like the products that you're reviewing, you should smile more. Instead of delivering a straight read, don't be afraid to show your passion for what you're talking about. Again, imagine your best friend is curious about a product and asked you to tell them about it. Well, that about wraps it up for me. I'll leave links to all the products discussed today in the description below. Using those links won't cost you anything extra, but it helps me to continue to make these videos. If you have any feedback or questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you want to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching. This is where it all starts, so come on in. Oh, no, I don't like that. Over here I have my road bike as well as my, come on, Sage. So come on, you didn't say action. That was a really bad one. As well as my GoPro and camera gear. Truck. I did this by including a bike. I also wanted to, creating a product that, the LED lights behind my bike, this backdrop, I swallowed distracting again, and not on a confusing, distracting background. Earlier in the video, I used to, making marks like this ensures making marks, I can hear a car, and eliminates any guessing work. Oh my God, my coffee. At the front, I have 2 light sources. Nope. At the front, I have 2 light sources. Nope. I said it backwards again. Damn it. I did it backwards again. All right, we'll just leave it that way. Oh, I meant to say studio setup. I get worse and worse, Tom. This is almost pointless.